I was pointing it in your direction, everything's blurry, and I'm like, so what, it's not focusing? And I turn it that way and it focuses. I turn it back and it's fine now. So it's like, for some reason, it wanted to be blurry at first.
Did I tell you about the two little 12-year-old black girls?
No,
I won't look into
no,
it.
that's,
Colorful.
well, it was bad in the beginning, and it just got worse through the 27
What?
years that I've heard it.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a story that's not to be told, right?
It's a story which, just as well to leave alone. He's got to get some new good jokes, or bad jokes. But they have to be new.
You what?
They've got to be new.
New?
Bad jokes or good, but they've got to be new ones. Because I've been hearing...
But I haven't told that to, he never heard it before, and I hadn't told anyone for many, many months. Okay, no.
I don't want to ruin your reputation.
Nope, okay, fine.
Ruin your reputation for... It's like so many people either want to people kind of want to characterize people.
Yeah.
It's like you're a saint or you're a
I
sinner. It's polarized.
It doesn't work that way, yeah. It
Okay.
makes it easier for people, but it ain't accurate, it ain't true.
Well, then again, I get this book. It's called Why People Lie, and it's a good book. Part of the lesson in it is that quite often when people are lying, they don't think they're lying. They have a different perspective,
Oh,
and they're putting different emphases.
that's true.
Mm-hmm.
And if you approach it that way, quite often you could bring out a different opinion out of them.
Uh-huh.
Because just by so well, your definition of love, tell me what love is, and then you say, well, oh, okay, we're talking about two different things.
Yeah.
Not that you were lying.
Yeah.
It's just that we're so vague in the language.
Right.
And so therefore, just because you think someone, isn't being truthful, might not really be the case.
It's not actual lying.
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
Or it could just be, ignorance could make people look, like they have hatred that really isn't there. It's just a lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
That they've, okay, anyway, let's try to make some progress.
Yeah, right.
Do either of you believe in reincarnation?
Yeah, I do.
I do not.
You do not. That's interesting.
Uh-huh.
Why don't you believe in reincarnation?
I don't believe it.
Okay, and why do you?
It's logical, and also I've known two people well enough to have discovered that they were able to remember certain aspects of their past lives, and I knew them well enough to know that these were real memories.
I found that people that remember past lives, almost always they remember themselves as being a king or some major.
No, absolutely.
Okay.
Not the real ones.
Okay.
And actually, in quite a few cases, they're not remembering past lives; they remember past deaths.
Mm.
And this the one person who had the best memory remembered how he died in several different incarnations, and he remembers the death and going out of the body and looking back. And I simply think it's that all the evidence so far is that consciousness exists outside and can exist outside the body, or with all the near-death experience books, we discovered that out-of-body experiences are very frequent.
You get into reincarnation or past lives or whatever, you are ignoring the passage of time. Time comes to a stop.
Yeah.
In all these ways, and I don't see any evidence of time coming to a stop. It makes no sense.
Oh, you mean human time?
Yes, that's where we are.
Oh, sure it does. I mean, after you die, you have. It isn't that you have no time. It's you have access to all time. You can.
But time doesn't
shift.
move anymore, does it?
Yeah,
It goes forward or backwards?
well, it seems to go forwards.
What's your
Depends on-
evidence, what's your evidence for that?
Well, there is no evidence in the sense that you mean evidence, in a scientific sense.
That's right, that's what I mean.
But I think most things in the spiritual world can't be proven scientifically anyway. That doesn't mean they
Because
don't
they probably
exist.
don't exist.
But you can't prove the existence of love or most of the things that we live for. But that
But you
doesn't
can
mean-
accept the reality of love.
How can you accept something if it can't be proven then?
Because you're not in a position of having to prove it, you accept it.
Aha, well, I'm not in a position of having to prove reincarnation.
Okay, good, I didn't ask you to prove it. It's just that, I think we're on different paths, okay.
That's okay, I mean, we'll find out, after we leave our mortal coil, we'll discover.
Well, I got my own take on it. I've looked up that there's something like 200 billion, I think, different possible combinations of human DNA that are feasible. And so I'd say there's 6 billion people alive now. So 200 billion divided by 6 billion, so we got, it's a little complicated for me, but there's a number that basically, let's say 50 to 1. If every person that's alive, there's 50 possible combinations beyond that person. So the odds are you already know somebody that has a living clone. If you look at their DNA somewhere in the world, there's someone else, for somebody you know that has someone who's got the same DNA. So that would be a clone technically, even if one isn't from the other.
Yeah.
But what if one person dies and then the same DNA pattern is born again somewhere? Isn't that a reincarnation? Depending on what your measure of a person is. Do you say the person is their DNA, or is it something beyond that?
Oh, no, I don't think the person, the spirit, has nothing to do with, it resides in the physical body, but it doesn't come into being or go out of being with the birth or death of that body. It's independent of it.
Well, I think this is the case where reincarnation, it's more than one definition. So I say reincarnation exists by my definition.
Sure.
But we just said, well, by my definition, yours is a little different than my definition. So
Yeah.
yeah. But okay, well, let's move on. I like the way you had the cross chatters. I can see how you enjoyed spending time together. It's nice you don't get, oh, you're wrong.
Oh, no.
You calling me stupid?
Right.
I don't know, just
Absolutely not.
we ain't excited over. What do you think the negative effects of legalizing drugs would be?
I have a very firm opinion on that.
Yeah,
None.
none.
I think
Okay.
there are people who should not be exposed to them
Yeah,
without their wishing, without their choice.
yeah.
Children should be protected from things they could abuse. But I think if you removed all laws on drugs, you'd eliminate a lot of the drug problem.
Okay, so for your average, well-adjusted, competent adult,
Leave them alone.
leave them alone. Okay. Do you agree?
No, absolutely.
Okay. So a lot of people are afraid just because they assume that the only thing that's holding society together is that people are being held back from doing things that, but, okay. I think we should have learned our lesson from alcohol prohibition.
No,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Exactly right.
For my grandparents, while they're still alive, they said it's the same thing with drugs as alcohol, but they say stay away from drugs because it's not like the old days. The police used to be on the payroll, nobody had anything to worry about.